What's up, humans, and welcome to a new Psicoactivo. September the 11th, for every American that commemorates this date, I send you my sympathies. And I was in Tijuana in junior high when 9/11 took place. I distinctly remember our director of the school talking about basically the end of the world. He really scared like all of the kids there. But yeah, it's there are a lot of really strange things that are happening right now that took place back then, right before the attack on September the 11th. I don't know if you guys remember, but there was this now infamous video of Donald Rumsfeld talking about missing trillions from the budget of the Pentagon.
Fail to adapt. And the fact that they can fail and die is what provides the incentive to survive. But governments can't die. So we need to find other incentives for bureaucracy to adapt and improve. The technology revolution has transformed organizations across the private sector. But not ours, not fully, not yet. We are, as they say, tangled in our anchor chain. Our financial systems are decades old. According to some estimates, we cannot track $2.3 trillion in transactions. We cannot share information from floor to floor in this building because it's stored on dozens of different technological systems that are inaccessible or incompatible.
And then a month prior to that, there was that famous press conference at the National Press Club from Dr. Stephen Greer, where a bunch of different whistleblowers came forward, and then 9/11 happened. And now I don't know, it just feels like there's a lot of things happening too, are distracting us from what's going on with this. And I don't think we should lose focus, because I really do think that we are getting really close. The hearing was, for me, having Mr. Dylan Borland talking about that Black Triangle account, having George Knapp talking about the Russia documents, mentioning Glenn Gaffney, mentioning Robert Bigelow, James Lakatsky on record. That was very significant to me. And unfortunately, what people are fixating themselves on is that video that Representative Burlison showed. I'm just going to remind you of what he showed, and then I'm going to get some reactions from different people, because it's a mixed bag. And there's people that I really respect from the UFO community who think that this video is a balloon, not a UFO. So we'll go through that. This is not going to be a detailed visual analysis. There's a bunch of other accounts that already did that. I'm just going to talk about reactions, and I'm going to talk about the effect that the hearings had because of that video, because it did have an effect and it did go mainstream. But I don't know if it was for the right reasons. We'll see after I show you what I got to show you. But here's Burlison talking about the video at the hearing.
We have a government that is actively blocking information from us. And I've had it. Enough is enough. This video is of an MQ-9 drone tracking an orb, or this object, off the coast of Yemen. You'll see that another MQ-9 launched a Hellfire missile. That you cannot see that drone. I'm not going to explain it to you. You'll see exactly what it does.
There's a whole bank of these kind of videos that Congress has not been allowed to see, that the public hasn't been allowed to see. Occasionally, some of that stuff gets out in the wild and it comes our way. It should be going to you. The public should be seeing this stuff. And why you're not allowed to, I don't know. But that's a Hellfire missile smacking into that UFO and just bounced right off. And it kept going.
It kept going, and it looks like the debris was taken with it.
Yeah, what the hell is that?
Why are we being blocked from this information? Enough is.
When he says that the debris was taken with it, what he means is that when the missile hits the object, there are three distinct, equally big or small things that come out right after. That's right after it hit. And those little 3 dots, those remained with the object after the zoom out. That is really strange. And I don't know. I know where the whole balloon thing came from. I just want for people to be aware, because back in the blue book days, the main debunking talking point was it's a balloon. And in the 90s, when Roswell was attempted to be brought back by President Clinton, they came out with the Project Mogul explanation, which was also a balloon. And now they're talking about a balloon, and we really don't know if it is or not. But the reaction from people that are very much involved in this is very interesting. And I'm just going to show you what Representative Burlison said right after the hearings, how he got the video, which is one of the main pushbacks that I have. So shout out to UAP James for the clip. This is from News Nation. This is what Burlison said and how he reacted.
Keep your eyes on this, because this video seen for the first time today during a congressional hearing on UAPs. This is what you want to look at here. You see how it was shot at one point in time? Congressman Eric Burlison will join me in a moment. He played this black and white video, which shows purportedly a UFO being struck down by a Hellfire missile originating from a U.S. military drone. Now, Hellfire missiles are precision strike weapons that are manufactured by Lockheed Martin. That video, I've watched it a bunch. Now our audience has watched it several times. Tell me what we saw.
Yeah, it's a remarkable video. I received it anonymously with what it's in a way in which I've learned is called a dead drop. The video was scrubbed from all information. So, and that's why I'm saying.
What's a dead drop? Hold on one second. What's a dead drop?
Completely anonymously. There's nothing to trace back to, and I have no idea who gave it to me. So I decided I could either sit on it and try to spend time. I don't have the resources to do forensic on video. And so either I could sit on it, but look, I'm a disclosure guy. I'm just going to let the internet figure out the validity of this video. And so that's kind of the posture that I took.
So let me tell you what I find extremely wrong with this. If you get a video like this through a dead drop, you don't go immediately and put it on record at a congressional hearing without knowing the provenance of the video. That is a major issue. And that is my major issue with the video. Whether it's a balloon or a UFO, that is not important. What is important is that you need to understand in this day and age, whenever a video comes out, if there is no provenance, that gives people who are trying to debunk this from a mean-spirited standpoint to do it much easier, because every single video, even if it's real, will always be debunked. It will always have a debunk, but it's much harder to debunk if you know where it came from, if you know who shot it, where it was shot. A lot of those details are known. Burlison explained them, but not having provenance, that is a major problem, because if it's an object, it's also possible that it could be a drone from another country, from one of these aerospace companies. We don't know. So I think that putting that video out was not responsible from Burlison. That is just my personal opinion, and also everything that came with it, because there's people within the UFO community who are pro UFO who are thinking the same way I do, because you can't just do that. And I think the main problem here is that this video made the news around the world. The BBC covered it, NBC News, ABC, CNN, Fox News, NPR, like pretty much everyone covered it, but they didn't cover the hearings. They covered the video. And yeah, it reached millions and millions of people. That's really good. But all of those millions of people only saw this video instead of listening to what George Knapp said, instead of listening to what Dylan Borland said. And that's a problem. And you missed a golden opportunity, Burlison. And I'm going to tell you why. Also, Jeremy Corbell appeared on TMC with the TMC crew, who are good friends with him. And he stated that he vetted that video before they released it. I want to know what the vetting process for that was, because here's the issue. I don't know if you guys remember, but I was covering the story of Michael, aka the civilian whistleblower, who saw a Black Triangle back in 2003 with his father and in a field in Wichita, Arkansas. And after watching that, and he recorded a video of it, I think that he was a UFO hunter at the time. This is something that he didn't relay on me or anything, but based on everything that he said publicly and based on what I've talked to him about, I think that he was a UFO hunter. He developed something similar to what a dog whistle is. And he developed this system to attract UAP, and he recorded a bunch of different videos, many of them very recently with 4K cameras, and he showed these videos to Representative Burlison. And in a Twitter space from Tupacabra last month, he talked about it. So he presumably does have access to this video, and he missed an opportunity when Dylan Borland described the Black Triangle that he saw. If Burleson has this video with him from Michael, there is a good chance that he missed a really good opportunity to show one of these videos right after Dylan Borland's testimony, because, and I can tell you also why he might have decided against it, but he still missed a really good opportunity. So here it is.
Yeah, hi, Representative Burleson. Yeah, thanks again for doing this. So I had kind of two big things fall in my lap last Monday. One of them directly involving you, and this was the civilian whistleblower who apparently has been in skiffs, and he's known anonymously as Michael, but had a close-up encounter that he filmed on 4K video in I think in Wichita, Kansas.
So just to be clear, Craig misspoke here. I think there is another video from 2019 that is 4K. I don't know how he got that, but the one he's referring to is not 4K, but it is close-up video of really good equipment from 2003, which is pre-Tic Tac, just to make that clarification.
Around 20 years ago. And apparently he was speaking to you as my buddy Paul and I were working with Ivan Hanel on getting his statement out about why he doesn't want to come forward any longer. So I was wondering if you could comment on that.
That is that's an interesting individual, and I'm hoping to keep that relationship going and try to get more information. Right now he seems very guarded, but yeah, I don't right now. I think that the problem is the problem is it's complicated things. The fact that he owns a private business and he's seeking a government contract, and he just kind of complicates the whole scenario. So the fact that he's not an existing contractor who's then bringing forward information, it makes it look like he's trying to use it to get contracts. But at the end of the day, I think that I'm not skeptical in that regard. I'm just telling you what I'm having to deal with. I think that he is I think that he's a patriot. I think that he's someone who wants to protect the interests of the United States. He's been able to get these videos and photos. I've only seen one photo and one video. And I will say that whenever I have talked about those photos and shown them to people that were in the know about highly classified U.S. military aircraft, the response was jaw dropping. People
are shocked that someone who is an amateur or is not exactly an established contractor was able to gather these photos and videos.
Burleson says here very specifically, when I showed them these photos and these videos to people who know about classified military aircraft. So the way he showed them to them makes me think that he does have access to them. So why didn't he show this video at the hearing instead of showing what he showed that had the effect that it had? That's what I want to know from Representative Burleson. Because, another one of the reactions, for example, was from Ryan Graves, who is well known in the UFO community. He was part of the first hearing. And this is what he said. After further review, it's conceivable the video is of prosaic target struck by a missile. Chunks broke off, stabilized in the airstream, and began a parabolic descent that is generally aligned with the camera angle, making the target aspect change nearly imperceptible as it descends. If we had a longer video, we may see the components impact the water surface eventually. Without source details, I can't say more. And he tagged Representative Burleson and told him, I'm aware of much longer videos with clearly anomalous behaviors captured by the same MQ-9 platform in other parts of the world. The witness is willing to come forward and the videos are accessible through the proper channels. This is what we need. It was a mistake, in my opinion, because of the prominence. Now, Ryan Graves is proposing to get one of his witnesses to show video of this. Same camera, different incident, not the one in Yemen that Burleson showed from 2012. It's difficult because the only real reason that I think both Burleson or Corbell, who claims to have vetted this video before it was shown in Congress, the only good reason for them to be confident about it is if this dead drop came in a similar fashion to the videos from 2017, which was directly from the Pentagon or directly from the DoD. That would be the only reason why they would feel comfortable doing that, if the drop came directly from there. But they're not going to say it because there's already a lot of smoke there. There's already a lot of debate. I don't think they will say it if they knew even. But yeah, it caused a lot of issues. I'm still on the fence about it. I'm not going to say it's a balloon because there are some frames there that make me rethink the whole balloon aspect. I do want to say that Andy from that UFO podcast, the person that did the analysis, is a specialist, but I did hear opinions from other specialists in the defense industry who said it's not a balloon. So it's a debate. But yeah, it was very distracting. Not having provenance is a problem. And this is going to be picked apart for a long time. The problem is if it's definitely determined that it is of a prosaic explanation, that's going to be a real issue if it's announced that way. So, and it's a shame, really, because the hearing was really good. It was much better than the second one. It was, I think, apart from the video being shown, it was on the same level as the one from 2023, in my opinion. I think Dylan Borland is a real whistleblower because he told you that for a decade he's been fucked with. He has information and participation in the legacy program. He said that under oath. So it's a shame, really. Let me know what you think. What did you think of the video? Tell me everything. I'll be reading in the comments. And let me know what you think about Representative Burleson potentially missing an opportunity to show Michael's video, which was of a black triangle, same type of triangle, apparently, that Dylan Borland described. Maybe he showed it. He didn't show it because he thought it was a classified military program. which is also important. I think that should also be uncovered, because if these things are real, but they are tech from humans, that means that humans crack some type of new propulsion that means new type of energy that can help humanity. So in my opinion, that trumps whatever you want to consider national security. And that's just not a good look, in my opinion. So let me know what you think. It's a really interesting debate, I think. But try to be respectful in the comments. Yeah. If you like the content you see, I'm going to ask you to like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. That's all you need to do in order to help us. And it is what helps us the most. So thank you. But if you want to support us in other ways, there's a few links down there you can choose from. You can become a member on YouTube, or you can support us through KGRA. Anything you choose to do is always appreciated. So thank you. And that's it for me today on this video, but I'll see you guys in the next one. Remember, stay curious and inquisitive like Representative Burlison. Always. Bye.